Good day, viewers, and welcome to today's Sport Wrap Show. I'm your host, Ashwin Berry, here to deliver your daily dose of potent sport news. But first, let's get into the hit list. PSL footballer Siphamandla Mtolo has died after collapsing during a training session on Tuesday morning. His club, Richards Bay, has confirmed. The 29-year-old, who played as a defender and holding midfielder, has been out at the KwaZulu-Natal club since 2020 and was known as Pepe by his teammates and fans. He collapsed this morning during training, the club said in a statement posted on social media. The club is not in a position to provide further information at this stage and asks that his family's privacy is respected in this difficult time of bereavement. Now, Paris Saint-Germain were knocked out in the Champions League last 16 for the 5th time in 12 seasons under the big spending owners Qatar Sport Investment, and it came as no surprise given the lack of club culture at the French capital club. Poor recruitment decisions and blind faith in the talent of Kylian Mbappe and a handful of others meant PSG were not armed against a Bayern Munich side whose cohesion and strength in depth made the difference in their 3-0 aggregate victory. PSG have been relying on the Mercuro Mbappe up front, but Bayern were well prepared against such an elementary strategy, while Lionel Messi has been inconsistent since he joined from Barcelona in 2021. Neymar was out injured on Wednesday when PSG lost 2-0 despite a promising first half, and while the team looked more balanced with the Brazilian missing, the lack of craft in the midfield was horribly exposed. The last round of Cricket Namibia's T20 Premier League will be played on Saturday in the capital, followed by the final on Sunday. United and Wanderers each have 1 game left, while CCD Tigers and Windhoek High School Old Boys each have 2 matches scheduled for Saturday. The current log standings are as follows. First, Wanderers on 8 points, second, Tigers on 4 points, and Old Boys and United are third and fourth with no points on the board. Zoom In is coming up after the break. We start off zooming in the world of boxing. Now, Mateusz "The Beast" Hayter has decided to move up the weight after being stripped of his super bantamweight title. Now, the boxer visited us and had a lengthy chat with Jesse Kauraisa, and this is what he had to say. Sport Wrap will be...
The Beast, welcome to the Sport Wrap Show.
Apologies for that techno disruption, but let's get back to it. We said Mateusz "The Beast" Hayter decided to move up the weight after being stripped of his super bantamweight title. Now, the boxer visited us and had a lengthy chat with Jesse Kauraisa, and this is what he had to say.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
I'm good, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a brand new year, and it's always good having guys like you in the studio, man. For people that do not know you, I mean, well, we know that you are the beast, a very good boxer and all that. But I'm sure that there are many that do not know the beast personally and all that. So today I just want that aspect as well, and maybe plans for this year. So who is the beast? Who is Matthias Heja?
Matthias Heja, I'm Matthew Heja. I was born in Walvis Bay, raised in Walvis Bay, I schooled in Walvis Bay. I started boxing in Walvis Bay. So I started boxing at the age of 11, and I started amateur there, and I came to complete my professional level here in Wien to get the Nesta Shanshan Boxing Fitness and Academy.
Okay, growing up, were there any boxers you were looking up to as a young aspirant? Who was that?
I was actually looking up to Harry Simon, Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather Jr., and Mike Tyson.
One of the big heart-hitting guys of that generation, though. So you are from Walvis Bay originally.
Yeah.
You grew up there. Do you have any roots up north?
Yeah. I have roots up in north. Like my grandmother, my grandfathers are from the north. Yeah.
From which area?
From Wangwena region or Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you train with the MTC Boxing Sunshine Academy, one of the top promoting stables in this country.
Yes.
How do you find it? Is it fun? Is it great? Is it a great opportunity that you would have wished for?
Yeah, it is a great opportunity because we are working with Shanshan. It's the best promotion in let me say in Africa, and if you look at the MTC Shanshan Academy, it probably produced maybe about four world champions, like the Hitman, Ambuda, Julius, our first world champion of Namibia, Harry Simon also. Was also produced about Shanshan.
Yes. And sparring partners, how do you find them within the stable? With who do you spar with the most?
I spar the most time with Energy. Philip Nitumbwa. I spar with Philip Shanika. I spar with Sam Matthews. And I spar with Martin Mukungu. Whenever I'm fighting a southpaw, he's my top sparring partner. So yes.
So these guys they actually know what they are doing, especially if you know their kind of opponents you are to fight the next fight. So you guys always check which is the better opponent,
Yes.
Or who fights similar to that other opponent that you are fighting. Well, quite interesting there. So, I mean, you have fought around 8 fights and won all of them. So how does it feel? I mean, how does it feel? What inspiration does it give you?
For me, it gives me an inspiration to go undefeated. You know, it gives me a big inspiration. So, like for now, I'm having an upcoming fight schedule in South Africa. So, I think it's in March, but I'm not really sure of the date. That's it's according to my promoter. So, I'm going to make my debut for featherweight because I move up now. So I think it's gonna be for an international title, but I know I'll be champion again.
Well, this is good news. I mean, the last fight you fought Hassan Milansi and you won that fight, and of course you won a title that time. So right now that title, I understand, was stripped due to the fact that you feel heavier and you want to go up, and you mentioned the featherweight division. What motivated that idea for you to want to go up?
No, actually, I think I'm growing now, and I can't make super bantam anymore because my body is growing and my body is too big for super bantam. So, my health also comes first. So, if I keep on killing myself to something that I can't do, so I just have to move up to the next weight division.
And you confidently said there you will be champion again in that division. Featherweight is one division that has top talented boxers around the world. So is there any that you are eyeing on facing one day?
I like to face this featherweight champion. I think it's the guy. But first, let me not
yeah, you
concentrate
can't
about
go.
this guys.
So you want to build.
Let me clean
Your
let me clean the continental first, continental guys. So I go up to the next level.
All right. Your last fight, before we move on, it was not an easy fight, but you managed. You have not really had easy fights. I think you're one of the boxers that has fought really tough opponents. And tell us about your last one. How did it fare? How did it go? How did you feel about that one?
My last fight, my opponent was, he thought he's gonna beat me because I overweight, and he thought he's gonna take the title home because there was only two choices. If I win, I'll still not be champion of the belt, but if he wins, he will be champion of the belt. So he really wanted to win. So he came in as a warrior, and he was trying by all means to win the fight. But for me, I knew I could take him out, so I would take him out in the earlier rounds. But he was a tough opponent, and
he made it very difficult for you.
He made it very difficult.
Yes, but you prevailed.
Yeah.
Fighting, knowing that there's nothing in for you actually, must be something very difficult, because you know that, fine, even if I win, the title is no longer mine. So how did you manage that? I mean, as a person, what goes through your mind that time?
No, I just came in the fight to win the fight, just to protect my record. So I just protect my record. I know if I lose the title and I lose the fight, it's gonna be something else. Then it's gonna be very difficult to come up again.
Yes.
So I just make sure to win my fight.
Okay. You are going into featherweight. Does that change your training strategy, your eating, and all that, or is it just the same?
Yeah, it actually changes my eating strategies and my training. I need to work more, to work on my power punches, because I went a bit up, and the strength there is a bit also, So these guys are strong there.
So you really need to pack those punches.
Yeah.
Become the Tyson that you so much followed, and the Harry Simons that were beating very hard. So coming back, do we expect a lot of fights from you this year? I know that's quite a question that one has to ask the promoter, because he does the job. But from you, from a boxer's perspective, do you want to fight more regularly in this featherweight division?
I'll be probably this year. I'll be maybe having, if it's less, it's maybe four fights this year.
4 fights, and you really want to a clean sweep.
I want a clean sweep.
I
want to dominate the featherweight division.
Who are the other featherweights in? I mean, Nakathila.
No.
Nakathila is
Nakathila
is lightweight. Junior lightweight. So
in Namibia, it's the Desert Storm.
Zakaria Lucas.
Who's that? Mukungu,
all these guys.
Kakololo.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So it's quite a division that has a lot of boxers here. Is there any that you would like to face locally, or that's not up for any your attention at the moment?
Now, like I see now, if I step in the featherweight division, my ranking speaks to itself, and the way I'm ranked, I'm better than these guys. You know? So I need better opportunities.
You need opportunities that can raise your level and attention to the world.
So because I will gain nothing fighting these guys from Namibia.
I understand that. How do you? This is probably one of the things that one can always ask before we conclude. Is that how do you handle the pressure of being a boxer and also being a human being in the society? I mean, I'm sure there are people that always come to you and trying you out, you know, things like that. But how do you handle that? What is key in terms of that discipline, or what is important in that?
It's actually a good question, you know, because there's a lot of people. There's people that are happy for you, and there's people that they always want your downfalls, you know. There's in the community will probably come someone trying to just to make you angry, you know, so you just have to work on the discipline, and you just walk away, or you see.
Yeah,
but sometimes, like, you are a human being, you can also freak out.
You can freak out and yes, and become confrontational. I understand that, and sometimes you know how to throw a punch, but they say in the streets there are no punches, no rules. Anyways.
What an insightful conversation. We certainly wish the Beast all the best. Now, the youth segment of the show is up next, and you know the name, Spotify. Stay with us. Diving into Spotify, we visited Doki Schmidt's DS Football Academy at their training field in Eros and spoke with the marketing and communications officer as well as a few of the players. Have a look.
So, Mr. Jason, how are you feeling today?
Awesome, man, awesome. Whenever the sun is out, we're happy, man. We're happy.
Okay, so when did you start the academy?
We started it this year, earlier in the year, but we've been in place and been in agreement with SuperSport for a long time now, but we're just part of the scouting network as the whole school's academy.
And which age group do you look to scout?
We scout mostly from, let's say, not even infants, from 4 to 15 basically.
Oh.
Yes.
And how many players do you have on the team so far?
On the roster now we have at least over 60 registered, but we still accepting a few more. But for now, 60.
Yes. And how would you say the progress has been so far? And any achievements?
The season hasn't started yet. We plan on participating in the Hope So League because that's the only active league for the youth right now. Besides, obviously, the training they're getting at in their respective schools. But for now, just the Hope So. We're waiting for that, and we'll be participating this year. So.
All right, could you just shed some light on the collaboration between the club and SuperSport?
Well, our collaboration agreement that started in 2020 is basically to take a few of our athletes, a few of our soccer players over to the other side, because we are part of a feeder program with SuperSport and various other schools, part of the global schools initiative. Right. So basically, what we do is we choose a few of our best players and then we ship them off to the other side where we plan to compete with different schools from SA and then different places in the globe. It's that form part of the Global Schools Initiative.
All right.
Yeah, so when you ship them off, how long do you give them contracts or?
Yeah, no. Like right now they're under contract under us, but it's just not under contract, but more or less developmental contracts, whereby whatever we produce and nurture this side, then we can then definitely ship off onwards to South Africa as part of an agreement with SuperSport United. So if they're successful on the other side, then they get filtered in through the system and then we see them on the global scale, right?
All right, so could you shed light on some of the successes, like past successes, seeing as the league didn't start yet, the Hopsol League that you'd like to participate in? So past successes that you've perhaps had and players that perhaps have made it to greater heights.
Yeah, we have...
Okay, Damien, how are you feeling today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, and what would you say made you want to be a soccer player?
Personally for me it would be my cousin. I saw him playing and I always wanted to play because he was a very good player, so I also wanted to be as good as he was. And part of the decision was also Ronaldo. I just love the way he plays. I also wanted to play like that.
And how are you finding your stay at the academy?
So far it's good. I think I speak for everyone when I say it's been challenging so far, but we're all working hard. Yeah, we love it so far.
Okay. Do you plan on becoming a professional someday, or is it just a hobby?
Yeah, I plan on becoming a professional.
Now, how long have you been playing soccer?
I think I came from South Africa. I've been playing there for about 3 years, and when I came here, I only started playing again last year. So I would say about 5 years.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe one of those young gentlemen who will represent the brave warriors in the future. Who knows? What we do know is that Ari Hochart is up next with Globetrotting.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news and starting off with soccer news. News from the Champions League, UEFA Champions League. The big news there is Tottenham Hotspur out of the tournament, out in the round of 16. They drew 0-0 against AC Milan at home, and that was AC Milan that's going through to the quarterfinals because of an aggregate win of 1-0. Not good news for Tottenham Hotspur coach Antonio Conte. He's under pressure. He's already battling to qualify for the Champions League for next season, and he's been the coach for 16 months, and there's more speculation now that he will not renew his contract when it ends at the end of this season. Also difficult for Tottenham Hotspur to keep on to one of their star players, Harry Kane. He's in demand for many of the top players, top teams that play in the Champions League next year, and so it's possible that Harry Kane might also consider to leave the club. In the other game played, it was Bayern Munich. They cruised past PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, and that was to win 2-0 at home on the aggregate of 3-0. They also go through to the quarterfinals, and it was a star-studded attack of PSG, Kylian Mbappe of France, and then also Lionel Messi, but not good enough for them. They still lost to Bayern Munich by 2-0. On to cricket news. That's India playing against Australia in the fourth test. Important test for India. If they can win this test match that's played in India, they will qualify for the ICC test match final. Australia already qualified for that final. So Australia that won the toss, they decided to bat first. That is in India, like I said. It's in Ahmedabad, where the game is played, and it is after 90 overs, Australia 255 for 4. They batted quite slowly, but they didn't lose many wickets. Usman Khawaja 104 not out. Also, it is Sri Lanka that's playing against New Zealand. If India don't win against Australia, they can, with a series win against New Zealand, go through to the final. They're playing in New Zealand, so they're playing at Christchurch. They lost the toss, and they needed to bat first. A good first day for them, 305 for the loss of 6 wickets. That test is played in Christchurch. And continuing international sports news with tennis news, it's the Indian Wells Masters tennis tournament being played at the moment in California. Both the men and women play in the tournament. Firstly, the women, the WTA Tour, it is still the round of 128. Not many of the top seeds playing in the round of 128. It is Jill Teichmann of Switzerland. She beat Ashley Kruger of the USA by 6-1 and 6-4. Then also Shelby Rogers of the USA beat her countryman Katie Volenitz by 4-6, 6-4 and 6-1. On the men's side, on the ATP Tour, also in the Indian Wells Masters, it is Gilles Monfils of France. He's out in the first round. Well-known player from France. He lost to Jordan Thompson of Australia by 6-3 and 6-1. And then also Diego Schwartzman of Argentina beat his countryman, that's Federico Costa, by 6-1 and 6-2. To close off today's international sports news, cycling news, Paris-Nice cycle tour that continues. It was stage 4, and it is Stages Pogacar that established himself as a big favourite to win. He won the stage 4 quite comfortably, and it was in second place David Gaudet of France, and then it was Gino Madev. He was in third place. Actually, not as comfortable. He won by just 1 second over Gaudet, but comfortable to the rest of the field. Madev 34 seconds behind Pogacar in third position. In the general classification, it is Pogacar that leads a combined time of 11 hours 55 minutes. It is now David Gaudet with his second place 10 seconds behind him, and it is Jonas Vingegaard 44 seconds behind him after finishing 6th in stage 4. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's show, but do not worry, Sport Wrap will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, with the latest updates from the local sports scene and the sporting world at large. From me, Ashwin Bedi, stay active.